Hello grade 4s, welcome back to Wednesday Math. Today we're going to be looking at division in the backyard. For division in the backyard, you're going to be creating the problems using whatever you can find in your backyard. This could be flowers, this could be grass, this could be ants, this could be whatever you discover in your backyard. And you're going to be in charge of creating 10 division problems and solving them. Before I go into my backyard to look for some things to do some division with, let's do a quick review. When talking about division, we're talking about getting a larger number and then equally dividing it into smaller pieces. So let's look, for example, at the number 10 and divide it by 2. If I have 10 flowers and I've been growing them for Mother's Day and I have 2 grandmas that I want to give them to, how many would each grandma get? Again, I have 10 flowers and 2 grandmas, and I want to make sure that they both get the same amount of flowers. So I'd need to know how to divide to make sure that it's fair for both of them. So to do that, I could get 2 groups. Okay. Here's grandma 1 and here's grandma 2. To do this, all I'm going to do is I'm going to use a tick chart on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've evenly distributed 10 into the chart of grandma 1 and grandma 2. Each grandma gets 5. That means if I have 10 flowers in my backyard and I want to give them to my 2 grandmas for Mother's Day, I need to divide it by 2 because there's 2 grandmas, and each grandma would get 5 flowers. 10 divided by 2 is equal to 5. Now, with these single-digit division problems, it's really good if we can learn to memorize some of the basics. This is why going on to programs like Extra Math is going to significantly help you with your ability to divide. Now, yesterday we learned that there's a relationship between division and multiplication. So if we look here, 10 divided by 2 equals 5, and then 5 times 2 equals 10. I can see if division goes this way, then the multiplication would go this way and give me the same answer. 10 divided by 2 equals 5, yet 5 times 2 equals 10. Right here, 5 times 2 equals 10. This means that we can use multiplication to check to see if we are correct. So, for example, what if I said 10 divided by 2 equals 4? I know that it doesn't equal 4. I'm intentionally doing this wrong. 10 divided by 2 equals 4. Well, I can check to see if I'm correct. If I want to check to see if I'm correct, all I need to do is the opposite of division, which is multiplication. And I do it in the reverse order. So we got it going from left to right here. Now I've got to do it from right to left. 4 times 2 equals 8. Well, because this number are not the same, I know that I did one of them wrong. I'm pretty good with my multiplication. 2 groups of 4 is equal to 8. So I know it must be this one that is wrong. When using division, we can use multiplication to check to see if we were correct. Let's look at 9 divided by 3. Okay. So I have 9 boxes of junk cereal in my house. And there's 3 of us in the house who like to eat junk cereal. Let's say the junk cereal's Lucky Charms, because who doesn't love Lucky Charms? The other 3 people in my house, they do not like junk cereal, so they don't want any of this. Only 3 people want the junk cereal. And so I need to divide it into equal groups. It wouldn't be fair if I gave myself 8 boxes of junk cereal and the other 2 who like junk cereal only half a box each. That would bring it to a total of 9. That wouldn't be fair. I need to divide it into 3 groups. So let's do our 3 groups. Yeah. There's me, and there's child number 1 and child number 2. We each start off with 1 box each. 1, 1, 1. Well, we're only up to 3. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. We need to divide up 9 boxes. Let's keep on going. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Each group then would have 3 boxes of cereal. There are 3 different people, and if we're to divide 9 evenly into 3 groups, that means each of us would get 3. If we want to see if we're correct, we go in the reverse. 3 times 3 equals 9. We've got 12 divided by 4. We're exploring with some different numbers, making it a little bit more difficult now. In our Thursday morning circle, we need to read a total of 12 pages. And there are 4 of us in the group, and we're all going to take turns reading. How many pages do we each need to read? If the expectation is that we need to read 12 pages of a book as a group, and we're all going to take turns reading, we're all going to read the exact same amount, and there's 4 people in our group, how many pages do each of us need to read? All right, I'm going to draw my book. What a terrible book that is. No one ever said that Mr. Merrick was an artist. Each one of these books is going to represent a person. Man, I should have went to art school. I apologize. Alright, here's person 1, person 2, person 3, and person 4. Again, there are 4 of us. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we need to read 12 pages of our book. How many pages do we need to read total? I'll put a little tick on each book to symbolize a page. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I've divided the 12 pages evenly amongst the 4 people in the morning circle who will be helping read books. We have 12 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're dividing the reading between 4 people. 1, 2, 3, 4. And each of us needs to read a total of 3 pages. 12 divided by 4 equals 3. Now if I want to see if I'm correct, I could just do 3 times 4. What does 3 times 4 equal? That's the same as saying I have 4 groups of 3 or 3 groups of 4, and it equaled to 12. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 3 times 4 is 12. I can go in reverse order. Last one, we're not going to have any pictures. Let's look at 15 divided by 5. Now, maybe I'm stumped. Maybe it's just I'm really having a hard time with the division. Well, we can use multiplication to also help solve it. If I have 15 divided by 5, what I could do is I could do blank times 5 equals 15. It's still solving the same thing because if you remember, division and multiplication, they have a special relationship. They're the opposites. 15 divided by 3, don't know what that is. It's difficult for me in my brain for some reason to divide 15 evenly into 5 groups. But I could look here, what do I need to multiply 5 by to get 15? Well, I could just do some skip counting. 5, 10, 15. 3 times 5. 3 times 5 is equal to 15. Therefore, I know 15 divided by 5 has to equal 3. Let's look at another one. Okay? Let's look at 16 divided by 4 equals, don't know, but I do know that 4 or something times 4 equals 16, because again, these work in opposites. If I'm going this direction for division, I just write the question in the opposite direction for multiplication. So, what times 4 equals 16? Again, I could use skip counting to figure this one out if I don't have it memorized. 4, 8, 12, 16. 4. 4 times 4 equals 16. Therefore, I know 16 divided by 4 equals 4. So that is our quick review for today. Now what I want you to do is to go out in the garden, and I want you to look for some problems that you can create using division. I'm out here in my garden on this beautiful Wednesday morning. The rain is feeding it, and I'm looking at all my strawberry bushes. If I wanted to create a division problem out of this, I could count how many leaves there are, and I could divide it by 3. So I count all the strawberry leaves, and I could divide this by 3. This would be a very difficult problem because there would be lots of leaves to count. But hey, why not? I'm over here looking at my tomato plants. I have 4 tomato plants, and I'm going to be growing tomatoes for myself and for my mom. Well, if I'm to choose to have the plants divided evenly, how many plants would we get each? How many plants would my mom get? How many would I get? What would that equation look like? That equation would be 4 divided by 2. If I have 4 plants and I divide them evenly into 2 groups, I'm going to be left with 2. That means maybe the first 2 plants right over there, all the tomatoes on them will be mine, and the other 2 plants over there, those will be my mom's. Let's pretend, for some reason, we need to take down our trampoline. The trampoline has seen the best of its days, and it's time for it to go. But I want all of my kids to help with taking the springs out. Now, only the kids are going to be doing this, and there are 4 kids in my house. I'm going to look at the springs, and if I'm to count every single spring around the entire trampoline, I would have to divide that by 4. How many springs would all of the kids have to take out for their turn? That could be another division problem. I absolutely love to eat lettuce. As you can see, I just planted it, and some of it is wilting down. But regardless, I love to eat my salads. If every single day I eat 3 lettuce plants, how many days would it take me to eat all of my lettuce in my garden? Well, I'd have to count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that wee one, 11.
12.
I have 12 heads of lettuce. And if I eat 3 heads every day, 1 head for breakfast, 1 for lunch, 1 for dinner, how many days would it take me to eat all of my heads of lettuce?